Blog Talk Radio.
Good afternoon, world, and thank you so much for joining us on Get Inspired with Joyce. I'm your host, Joyce Ajanaku. We have an exciting show for you tonight, and before we get started, I'd like to tell you what the show is about. This is actually our first show. This show is basically to encourage people. I always say that we have a purpose. We all have gifts that God has given to us, and we're supposed to use it to edify the body of Christ, to promote the gospel, to advertise Christ. And our life assignment is to figure out what our purposes are. Our life assignment is to figure out why we are in the space we're in right now. And this show is to inspire you, is to encourage you to get to that next level, is to give you, encourage you, while we are interviewing people, guests, inspiring guests to come, that will be coming on the show, is to encourage you, push you to make that move to get to that next level. Our guest tonight is a very wonderful sister. She loves the Lord. She's a worshiper. She has a new single out. She has so many things going on. She wears several hats, and she's been such an inspiration to me myself. And I know she will be an inspiration to you as well. And before we get started, the number in case you want to dial in, give us a call to ask me a question or ask our guest a question before she joins us here online. The number to call is 646-478-5589. That's 646-478-5589. And while we wait for her, I'll go ahead and just cue us into our music for a little bit, and I'll come back online.
We're going out tonight. Everything is going right. Leaving the past behind. I'm moving in the right direction now. It wasn't so easy. Wanted to give up trying, but I found you. I'll make it through. Yeah. This time I'ma make it this time. It's gonna be alright. I know I just know I gotta keep you in my sight. Moving ahead, got direction. Is this life? This time, this time, this time. Shine your Fair one too many times, trying to do it all by myself. You pulled me out, got it together now. This time I'ma make it this time. It's gonna be alright. I know I just know I gotta keep you in my sight. Moving ahead, got direction. Is this life? This time, this time, this time. Shine your
Of our guests, that's the gist of the song. It's pretty inspiring, and I believe she's on right now. And I'll go ahead, since I already told you a little bit about her, I'll have her just tell us some more. Miss Toyin, please, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Miss Toyin Fadeyibi. Miss Toyin, are you online?
Hey, I am. I'm here. How's everyone doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing good. I'm glad to be
Good.
here.
While we're waiting, I kind of just talked to, kind of give a little introduction about you, and we went into your music as well. But I almost called you Toyin Ajayi. You are ni Toyin Ajayi. You're not Ajayi anymore. You're Fadeyibi now.
Sure. Yes, I am.
So you recently just got married. So tell us a little bit about that. As married life, is it everything you thought it would be?
Married life has been great. We actually just had our 2-year wedding anniversary about 3 weeks ago. Went to Orlando, It's been great. I mean, I would say it's definitely better than everything I've heard. A lot of what I heard growing up, I had a lot of negativity, just culturally and stuff like that. But it's definitely been awesome time. Putting God as the center of the marriage makes a whole lot of difference.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's just wonderful. And marriage, that's totally another topic. I know when we start talking about it, we won't leave here.
Yeah.
But let's get right into it. So when did you realize that leading people? I know you love the Lord. You love the Lord. You love to worship. Your new single is out. We're going to talk about that in a little bit as well. But when do you realize that you have that ministry of leading people into the presence of God?
It dates back to when I was younger, as a kid in youth choirs, and I used to really, really enjoy being around music and people. And it wasn't until later, maybe as I got into late teenage years and early 20s, that I realized the impact that it could have on people. So I would say earlier on in my life, but as I got older and did it more, it got clearer that was something that I truly enjoyed and something that was of a significant impact on people to lead them to God's throne. Is a big privilege. So. Wow.
I know. Besides leading people into the presence of God, being a worship leader, I know you have several things that you're involved in. You like encouraging people, impacting lives. And I know you've, one way or another, after talking to you, you've, encouraged me to be better. And I knew you were in Africa recently. Was it for a missionary work or pharmacy? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that was very exciting. So I'm vice president of a nonprofit organization called Labac Care. And we're a nonprofit. It was founded in 2006. And I am working alongside the founder of the organization. We conduct free health fairs in communities that are underserved. And last December 2012 was our very first major international medical mission. We had done a lot of stuff locally in Philadelphia and New Jersey area, and we had even gone to Nigeria before, but it was on such a small scale. This time we went with a team of about 9 to 10 medical volunteers from the U.S., diverse backgrounds, diverse training, and met up with some more on ground and, end up treating and seeing about 1,700 patients. So it was a pretty huge medical mission, very successful, very fulfilling, too. And we're planning another one again for December 2013. We're working on that right now.
Wow, that sounds really exciting. That sounds so exciting. I know, by profession, you're a pharmacist, and then, of course, you have the music thing going on, and, of course, the choir thing going on. So I was saying, I'm like, wow, how does she merge? Like, are you working on a different calendar? Is 24 hours even enough for you? Like, how do you keep track of all that and merge all those stuff together?
I would say God's grace, and I actually don't think I'm doing an excellent job yet. I think there's a lot of learning and growing to do, because sometimes, I feel like, oh, my God, I could have done more of that today, or I could have done more of this today. But it's hard to have a full-time job and, co-lead an organization and write songs and perform songs and, be an active member of a local church and serving there. It's a lot, and have a marriage that you want to grow and impact others and children in the near future and all that good stuff together. Like, only God's grace can really help us be, efficient, where we're not just doing things just to do them, but, we're actually honoring God and reaching people that he wants us to reach. So it's God's grace, really.
Yeah, I mean, and then it comes to your new single, and I was still listening to them, like, wow, very inspirational. And I was wondering, I'm like, I love this song. Where do you get your inspiration from?
Most of my inspiration, some of it comes from poetry that I've written in the past or on my journey. Some of it comes from experiences in my life. Like this time particularly came from, just a season of probably a little bit of discouragement of like, oh gosh, like, so many little things in my head that I want to do, I think I should do, I think God wants me to do. But, there's the other, just that balancing act is always a pull and always trying to work that out. Sometimes it can be discouraging because you feel like you're not measuring up to whatever standard you put for yourself. And so, there's a song that came out of that and encouraging my own self, really. So a lot of the process that led to that song coming out, I would just be listening to the song and be jamming to myself because I'm like, yeah, Toyin, you're going to make it this time. Yeah, Toyin, you're going to get through it. And so, I strongly believe that there's anyone who has ever impacted you as a minister, as a singer, even secular, when the person is feeling the song than when the person is just singing a song. So that song came from that place of being discouraged and encouraging myself in God and with God's promises and stuff like that.
See, well, in the process of you encouraging yourself in God, you're encouraging others as well, which is, very interesting. So each time you listen to it, they listen to it, we all listen to it, we get encouraged together, which is like the purpose of this, to empower each other.
Awesome. I couldn't have said
the
it
other
better.
day,
Exactly.
Right, exactly. And the other day you came to a church and I saw you on the keyboard. I'm like, this lady, how did she get into, keyboard? Like, tell us a little bit about that. How did you get into that? Keyboard and piano.
I always had a huge, can you tell huge, crush on piano since I was little. I mean, I was fascinated by it. I just loved the sound. I think God created me with that desire because it didn't come from, I didn't grow up in a home where we had a piano at home where I took piano lessons. Maybe that's fair to, I never had any of that. I mean, it was just not in the works, but I was so drawn to piano. And so off and on for the last, I would actually say 10 years, more like 7, off and on for the last 7, 8 years, I have actually started learning and dabbing into it. And the song I actually ministered at your church that day was one of the first songs that I wrote on the piano. And I'm not, I wouldn't call myself a pianist, yes, but I'm definitely learning. I'm back.
You're better than me.
Fundamentals. Well, I don't know.
You're better than me.
I don't know. I've never heard you play yet, so I can't say if I'm better or not.
I don't even know how to play. That's what I'm saying. I can't play.
Okay, well, that makes me feel good. Thanks. That's
right.
Great. Yeah, so piano is, the love for piano and the sound drives me continuing to learn and hone in the skill.
Wow, that's wonderful. So I'm thinking, out of everything, like pharmacy, by profession, your music, your ONG or what is it, not-profit that you're doing, and everything else that you're involved in, what would you say is most rewarding out of everything?
Yeah, that's a really interesting. I mean, I don't think I ever thought of that question before. To be 100% honest, I mean, the best answer I can muster up is to say that for me, ultimately, what's most rewarding to me is that through any of those outlets that I know that somebody's life is being touched by God. So I can't, at any given time, it would look different. So at the mission, for example, what fulfilling looked like was someone near tears when they got medicines to last them a long time because they couldn't afford it otherwise. For administration of, a song at a wedding, it would be someone who wrote a testimonial that I never met or something telling me that they needed to hear that song or to hear those words. So fulfillment is, I can't say that one aspect brings more fulfillment than the other. I would say that ultimately what fulfillment looks like to me is that knowing that God touched someone through whatever it is in those outlets and that he's honored by whatever outlet that I use. That's my definition of fulfillment with those different things. So whatever I take up at any given time, however way I'm serving or using whatever gifts God gave me or abilities, that's what fulfillment looks like for me.
Wow, that's just profound. Someone not being able. Did you hear me say, "Oh my goodness"? Someone not be able to afford, a prescription or a medicine or whatever, and you were
That
there
they need.
at the school at that time. Yes. That's just profound. That's really profound. So looking at, though maybe you have outline projects, and I'm assuming you do have, projects outlined, things that you want to do. So what's next now? Things that you can at least share with us.
Right now, back to the lab, working on a few other songs because we want to release an EP, which is a short album of about 4 to 5 songs. And this time is, the single is off of that EP. So want to get that out before the end of the year by all means, because I've been talking about that thing way too long. And most of the song ideas are completed, so it's just a matter of getting in and finishing up the recording for the other songs. And so that's what we're doing now. And as I said, also on the other end of the nonprofit and on healthcare is we're right now putting together the medical mission for 2014 in December 2013. I'm sorry. So this year, in a few months, the next medical mission. So those are the things concurrently, and sometimes one pulls more than the other, and that's part of the reason why the EP is taking as long as it has, because I keep trying to juggle everything. And so those are the two primary things in terms of short term coming up in a few months. That definitely will be it.
Wow. And when I hear stuff like that, isn't it amazing? I'm sure you feel wonderful just being able to use your profession to not just face around.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But to touch the world out there, to go there and actually be, see that smile on people's faces. And that's what I always say, if you take that move, you're having this urge in your heart to, do some things or your gifts, and you're like, okay, I do want to do this for some reason, you aren't able to make that move. And I was telling them before you came online on that, this is what the show is about. I really love to empower people and encourage people to go after their dreams, because I feel when you're in the space God wants you to be, and you're acting in your purpose, and you're living on that purpose that God has called you, your destiny, you shine.
Absolutely.
You shine brighter and brighter, and that the people around you will be able to see that, this is you. This is what you're meant to be. So profound stuff.
That's awesome. And I just want to add a quick something to that. And for the work that we do as an organization, Labatt Care, I'm not trying to solicit for funds, but just to say that everyone, it's not just us who go out, and do the work. Of course, because it's nonprofit, none of us are, getting paid for using our talents and our, degrees to help people. It's because of people that volunteer. So all those people that volunteer give money, their help to prepare materials or whatever it is, in whatever, because I'm sure there's some people listening now who are a part of Labatt Care one way or the other. And without those people, we wouldn't have the ability or the funds, to go and buy medications worth thousands of dollars to take and give out for free. So we're just the hands and the feet doing the work, but there's a ton of force and people who support us to enable us to do it, So without them, there is no, us. That it's just that sometimes the people who have the faith doing the work get more credit, but it's really all of us. Anyone who, at any point, even encouragement goes a long way, inspiring us to continue to do what we're doing. Yeah.
Yes. Wow. That's amazing. That's wonderful. So what advice would you give someone, as we were talking earlier, someone who wants to make that move or go after their dreams? It may be given, I believe everybody has different ministries. Some of us, we don't even realize it. And what would be your advice for someone who wants to start out? It could be a business, a ministry, or whatever they want to start out, what would you advise them? Starting out, what your words of encouragement?
Mm-hmm. So, first thing I would say is, pray for people that will bring in that season with you. So, for each person would look different. And so, for me, it looked like a producer who, literally taught me to craft a song, who helped me to record and taught me to record. I've sung all my life, but I never recorded. That's a whole different art. So for someone who's starting a business in something, God sends you that one person who is going to be, quote, unquote, an expert in what you're starting off to do, and they will just make it feel much easier and less burdensome. So I would say that's a big prayer. And when God positions that person or you next to that person, then, grace comes and he gives you more grace to bear and to persevere. And then you're going to need some courage. So a lot of, prayer there, because then, you can pray for God to give you courage. God's talking to Gideon saying, be courageous and, or telling Joshua, be strong and courageous, because we're fearful. We're fearful by nature. It's not nature as God made us, but nature as, the Adam nature in us. And so from courage, then we can take that bold step and say, you know what, even if only 5 people listen to this time and get encouraged, it's okay. Even if only me right here and 2 listeners and 100 listeners say, a part of this song helped me, then it's worth it. I don't need it to be 1 million. I'll take 1 million, don't get me wrong. But but ultimately, at the end of the day, it's that quality, not so much the quantity. And so, it's courage, it's positioning, it's having that circle that strengthens you so that when you falter in your courage, it can push you right back in. It goes a long way. So those are the things I would say that go a long way and make a big difference. Yeah.
Wow. That is just profound. With what you just said now, I always say this, if you're in a space, it could be a job, it could be the things that you're doing right now, and it's bringing out the worst in you. You need to reconsider, because you're meant to shine, you're meant to glow, you're meant to be the best at whatever you lay your hands. I believe, I always think positive. I hate to look at, negative side of things.
Right.
But, you could be anything you want to be. And I just believe you have to be in the right space. You have to be connected to the right people. You have to have the right people in your corner, like you said. So I don't start preaching. Let me ask you, I'm looking at the time, too, as well. So where can we get more information about you, Miss Toyin?
Well, I'm on Twitter, Toyin for Love, Toyee, N as in Nancy, 4, LOVE. That's my Twitter account. I'm not the most active Twitter person you probably have on your friend list, but I'm on there and I do tweet from time to time. I'm also on Facebook under Toyin, and my last name is hyphenated. Maiden name Ajayi, Ajayyi, hyphenated Fadeyibi, Fadeyibi, and working on a little website. That'll be coming up shortly, so stay tuned for that. And so it's pretty much Facebook, Twitter. And I also have a blog. It's it's Toyin 4 LOVE.blogspot.com. So Toyin for Love and Music. I missed that. I'm sorry. Toyin 4 Love and Music.blogspot.com. So those are pretty much the ways to reach me.
Wow, that's awesome. That's great. So I really want to thank you for coming on the show today. Finally, we got you on. And
yeah, I know. I'm glad I was able to make it.
Thank you so much for being on our first show. I think it went pretty well. Thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much. And I hope next time we call you, you honor our invitation and come right back.
Yep.
And
It would
also,
be my pleasure.
as your project is, as you're completing your project, we'd like to talk to you even some more. And again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And before we round up, I basically wanted to encourage you, even out there, you can be anything you want to be. I always say keep dreaming. Never say never. Don't think anything is impossible. You can be the best you could be. I always say improving yourself, do more for yourself, encourage yourself. Sometimes we say these things, I don't think I can do that, or I'm not sure if I can do this and stuff like that. Those words, they have power and they have weight. And my word to you tonight, if there's anything you want to get from the show, is never to sit back and just wait and expect that things will fall on your lap. You have to get up and, make a move, go after those dreams, go after those inspiration, talk to people, read more, invest in yourself. And I know God will, as you pray as well, God will show you, those things. Even if you have questions, just pray, ask God to give you directions. And I believe God connects people. You never know. They will come from the west, the east, and you're like, oh my goodness, where are all those people flying in? We plan to have inspiring guests on the show that would encourage you as well, as Ms. Toyin did tonight. And I will be on Facebook as well. This is Get Inspired with Joyce. I'm your host, Joyce Sanjanaku. Until next time, I want to say remain blessed, keep dreaming, and I plan to see you at the top. I'm going to leave you with a little bit of Toyin's song here and to close us out. Again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. God bless you. Bye-bye.